Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium, again before the tribunal. But this is, I would say,
I'm
the last
all
time
out
that
of
happens.
shit to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
And because of that, I think I'm gonna edit this whole thing down a bit, since we've seen a lot of stuff before, so I'm probably gonna cut some parts out. But the gist of it is that we're gonna try to have Kim, get shot again. Because that's for another possible ending. Stop, this is the police.
It's a fiasco, Bratan!
A low shot rings. You feel a tapping, like rain on your chest plate. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. Oh God, watch out. Scream immediately. He's gonna die.
Just let the darkness take you.
It's not all dark yet. As you're leaving, he is in there too. With you. You can feel the figure move. And then, a distant gunshot. Velvety smooth. Muffled. A big pillow falls on you. Cold nylon and blood. Slumped on you as the lights go out. All the lights and the sounds of the world disappear. You see Kuno's familiar shape in the found pants. It turns double, then triple from the pain.
I'm ready, Kuno.
So, listen, pig. Kuno's been thinking about shit and, Kuno's coming with you. Help you wrap this shit up, final style.
Asking for something, even asking to come along, doesn't come easy for him.
Why do you want to come with me?
This scene is dead. Kuno's out of here. Might as well be a pig. Big up fucky fingers on me way out.
Drug asset detected.
Thank you, electrochemistry.
Kid would make a half-decent sharpshooter, no? Look at him. Life hasn't been easy on him. You want to drag him along and put him through more shit? Your shit? Look, this might be his only way out. Trying to recruit him is like trying to make a pet out of fire. This kid recognizes only one authority, his own.
Sorry, Kuno, I can't take you with me.
Sorry for what? For not adding Kuno to your shit show? Kuno's not sorry. Kuno's glad. I was just kidding too. You couldn't get Kuno for $1,000,000 real. Fuck you, okay?
Wow, he did not take that rejection well.
Now, as to what's going to happen next.
Yes, Gimp. What are you gonna do now? Ride out of here on your shit river? You'll die alone? Kuno doesn't give a shit now. Too late now. Kuno's gonna hang you and fuck your room up again.
Whatever it takes. Okay, inspect Clausius' room again.
2 neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman having sex. A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez. B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
What is the point of origin, damn it?
It's not the roof, and had it come from the coast, you would have probably stumbled upon it while you were running around over there. This leaves the island in the bay.
Wait, I think the shot came from the island?
Islet, technically, but yes, it looks more and more probable.
There are ruins on that islet, a sunken sea fort. I saw it through the coin-operated viewer.
Your voice sounds hollow in the deserted room. You are alone.
This is also a location I've yet to rule out.
A powerful gust of wind coming in from the bay rattles the window pane.
I don't want to go to the
You
island.
have to go to the island. It's where the threads all meet. But how will you get to the island?
Maybe someone in the fishing village can help?
There were boats there. You should ask around.
Okay, let's go there then. We've done those conversations before where everybody got wiped out. We don't need to redo that. The older episodes have that, so I'm just gonna head out.
Here.
There we go. All our money is now medication. Wonderful. Just in case we take some morale hits, which is, let's be real, quite likely. Set the graffiti on fire with a lit cigarette.
The fuel oil catches fire immediately with an ominous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message.
I'm just gonna stare grimly into the flames.
The flames warm your face. Then, a gust of cold wind, and the fire falters.
It's time to go to the island.
Yes, Shiver.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
Okay, let's leave then.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
You seem angry. Why?
Look at you. You can barely walk.
Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
You should see the other guys. They're all dead.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. Better than being dead.
Well, no, we didn't get any shots off. Yeah, it's just the others on my side that are dead. Let's just scoff.
She just looks at you, her tea-length skirt flapping in the wind.
I have a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
I need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can I borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Okay, I'm just going on
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Thank you. I'll use the skiff to get there then.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
He's seeing you.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now?
Yes.
Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
First tie a porter-reel boombox to the breast hook to keep you company.
There. This is now a rock and roll skiff.
Cool.
It'll keep you company on this lonely voyage. Very cool. Now tune it to Sad FM. You know you want to.
Get in and ride to the island. This time a bit more sad, I suppose, now that we're all alone with Sad FM. But I've played that twice before, so this time it's gonna end up on the cutting room floor, sadly. Alright, there we are on the island. Now I guess it's time to see how this goes on our own. We've read those before.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
What for?
For bringing supplies, munitions, and fuel. You could also raise it in order to lock the western bay of Revachol.
Lock it from whom?
Enemies.
What kind of enemies?
Enemies of the commune of Revachol.
And that's a skill point. Wonderful.
Do not be too eager to greet these enemies, black-hearted cavalier. They were also the enemies of Revachol.
I see. So that was slightly different with Kim not around, I suppose. Let's go up here. Those we've read, I don't think those will change. Let's step inside. And in here? I mean, I don't think we're gonna go to bed here. We've done that before, and that takes a while.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right.
Put your hand on the machine.
It's cold. Rust flakes off and sticks to your palm.
Where do those wires lead?
Downstairs somewhere, or into the lighting perhaps. You can't tell.
What kind of generator am I looking at?
The industrial smell of mazout rises from the fuel cap. This generator uses heavy oil.
Let's tap on the side.
A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
Let's leave. Okay. I'm gonna leave the pile of books alone. It has done enough harm to us. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. You see candles planted on the broken rangefinder. Let's pick up the scarf. I still want all the clothing I can get here. Obviously we haven't gotten absolutely everything, but you know, we've got a nice amount of stuff. We should take a look at our items. We've read those before, this one as well. Come on, there we go. And tools. We should have this in our hands. And I think a bottle of alcohol is more fitting for us right now. Of course, do the double switch real quick. And there we are. So if we need to take a drink, we can now. I think there's some magnesium in here. Yes, wonderful. And some money that we're not gonna need, and some more magnesium. Let's head over here. Let's see what our thoughts alone have to say about this machine.
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
What is this? Run your fingers across the keyboard.
A rattling sound, like teeth. The keyboard hasn't been functional in decades. This must be the console of another radio computer, albeit a much, much older model. The wires from the generator upstairs are routed into its innards.
What does it do?
Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another. Radio diffuser says the frequency band. This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Wonderful.
Who's to say this thing even works? You will have to provide it with power first. There was an unfueled generator upstairs. There are barrels all around. One of them must still have fuel in it. Pour it into a generator and voila.
Okay, I think that's probably gonna say the same thing.
Nothing
approximately.
happens.
Okay, nothing happens.
The dial slides under the glass. Silently, you make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
I think if you have high enough encyclopedia, it tells you that the insular model is not... Well, there's a separation that makes it not hackable. I guess a gap between it and the airwaves of other computers or something like that. I'm not exactly sure anymore, but essentially those were used for military stuff. It's a different model. Pain in the pelvis, of course. That makes sense. After all, we got shot. Let's pick this up. Weathered artillery map. Old medicine cabinet. Let's open that. Take the medicine. You know what? I don't care about the mattress. This is about failure on all fronts. That includes not finding shit. Okay. Let's go back. Power it up. Go outside. Meet the deserter again. Come on, go in. Thank you. Let's go across here. And here. Now it's just gonna take that path on its own. Wonderful. Fuel it up.
This old cylindrical generator waits with its fuel cap open. Makeshift electrical wiring runs out of its side and across the floor.
Pour fuel into the tank.
The room fills with a pervasive chemical smell as dark brown liquid flows into the tank. There's a red starter switch on one side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other.
Let's pull the rope.
Nothing happens.
Flick the switch.
A tiny red light gutters inside the burnt plastic.
Well, now let's pull the
The
rope.
recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
Okay. Time to go back down again. Oh, also I forgot there's something in the stairs, some item or something. I don't know if it's just money, but I'm gonna check anyways. I always forget what it is down here. What do we have there? Ah, it's some magnesium as well. Okay. Can never have too much magnesium. We have to mag it up, after all.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light. Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another. It's on. Automatic boot. No, just turn the key.
Could this console open the blast door?
Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another. Radio diffuser says the frequency band. This device was used to control the electronics in the room.
Okay,
It could
so
open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
that's the same thing again. Okay, turn emergency open.
The door comes screeching to a halt. Behind it,
There we
you see
are.
a hole in the concrete wall where light shines in.
Wonderful to see, wonderful to see. There we go. It's a big door, and it's rusty, so it's gonna take a while to open up. Wonderful, and let's continue.
Holland drifts in the light shaft. A sudden anxious fear makes your skin crawl.
Let's leave. Okay, and let's hurry out there to see how this confrontation goes when we're all alone. Probably not well, since we needed other people to back us up in the past. So, let's talk to you then.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
He shakes his head. How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
It was not reactionary, it was cool.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate, hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Bell Margrave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
How did you get hold of it?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal Commune. Military aid.
He pats the rifle.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Signal Commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
His gaze turns inwards. Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too. Put your hand on your belt.
Yes. I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
His grip on the rifle tightens.
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's a fire, the next a fire gone out.
Sir, I need you to put down that gun so we can talk further. I'm with the police.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
Let's try it, and if it doesn't work, well, we'll see what happens.
It's a good line, but your voice slips on, Commander, producing a little squeak. Sounds like you're afraid.
A big-time operator of the pederast army. How about I keep it, huh? Hand it over to a real killer. A Briscard.
Oh god, I'm not from the Homo army.
No one cares. Dwat.
He shakes his head. What's a briscade?
Clearly not you. What do you want from me, anyway?
Just put the gun down, okay? I don't know how else to convince you.
You Fasces are pathetic when you're alone. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, and then stares at it just lying there.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
I'll pick it up.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. Still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times.
The rifle has been patched and modified several times.
Things keep falling apart if you don't tend to them.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
It's as you said, it's a triangong.
The old man blinks slowly. A strange jitter comes over him. He pushes his right leg down and does not reply.
Let's stow it.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull. You're a holdover of the army of the Commune of Revachol?
Yes, I am from the Insulindian Citizens Militia. Recruited from Jamrock in 07. Trained in the École de Contrôle Arion. Consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been on this island?
43 years. No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's steadfast.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
So, quick question. Would you like to travel back in time? Maybe? Would you be interested in that? Because, I'd be interested in that.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up?
He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
Where it's morning, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people are walking. The gas streetlights have already been switched off. Further inland, in Jamrock, the streets come alive with workers. Men, women, children rushing. Muddy avenue after muddy avenue. The temperature is rising. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
I come from there, point to the mainland. I can assure you that is not what the people are planning. I've been there. The city is a tinderbox. It may still happen. I've seen it. Shake your head. Capital is too powerful. The rich are very well organized. Women will always betray you. Girl child nation is too strong for that. We said that last time. That is not what people are planning.
I am not a fool. I know. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Understood. We've been through that dialogue.
Well done. I won't explain it to a minion of capital.
Oh, okay. I never heard that line before because I always kept asking. Okay. What is this place, this island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
His leg jerks. How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Okay.
Now hold on there.
That's a choice. You could have become self-employed, create the system.
You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
He coughs once more, then puts his hand on his belly. Understood. He coughs, then looks at his feet, suddenly despondent. How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
What was it like?
What was it like? There was hope. A little hope. They needed to snuff it out. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Krasmasov coursing in their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
So in the city you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your term to surrender.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We enforce the law, we keep these animals from killing each other.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce land. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
His hand shakes and he breaks into a coughing fit.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
The communards signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that why you've been hiding here for 43 years, because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
That's insane.
You're insane. Radio shows, speed racing, sporting goods. None of it is real.
So you're a communist soldier from the communist army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
Understood.
Like you belong to the Moralist Party.
He squints his eyes at you. I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Well, what have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. You can smell it.
Nice and honest.
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
When? Before or after the war?
And this has been during or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
So you're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped?
What did I just say?
He keeps shaking his head erratically suddenly. He brushes something out of his eye.
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Crenell?
The who now?
He leans in and cups his ears. The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the Welling in rags. Did you shoot him? The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th. His name was Lely. He was part of a security detail here in Martinez. A beautiful, strong man sent here by the honorable private military contractor Crenell. Well, you know how I mean. I haven't tried this one before. You know who I mean.
The worm? There?
He's...
In the monster armor you took from him?
He spits southward, then points at your armor. It's to protect myself.
You don't have to explain to me. An ugly piece of work, that boy.
Now. Push him now.
Did you fucking shoot him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession.
Okay.
The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this. Show him the Triangon 446. Looks to me like it could be used for a long-range shot.
Yes, it's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, eh? Going against automatic rifles with a flame bomb. Of course you got all those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
We saved a lot of them. Alan, that musician, we handled it.
Like fuck you did. You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those beasts rip right into them. Got the fat kid killed. The old man, too. None of those people mean anything to you. The vultures feed on this city, and you prepare the meal for them.
You're getting diverted. Push the gun. Only the gun matters.
Stop squirming, I have the murder weapon.
You let them all die. Pranced around. Let your little friend be shot too. I didn't get a good look at that. Tell me, did he bleed out?
Don't talk to me about Kim.
I know what it feels like. I lost people because I was weak too.
Shut up, I'm calling it. I have the murder weapon.
Who are you trying to prove this to, huh? Your friend? He's not here. He's dead, isn't he?
He's not dead, he's in the hospital.
The world will rejoice when he dies. One fascia less.
He hisses, then glances into the reeds and twitches suddenly.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of the head.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Ow.
Yes, ouch. So good, it hurts. Those were not modern prints. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. Nothing else comes up. The old man watches you stimulate thoughts by hitting yourself. I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
Oh no. There were Maybells behind the victim's window.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly, nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinaise, only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinaise is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
He must get around a lot, to stay undetected all these years.
You've been in Martinaise your whole life? Know any secret paths?
I may.
A strange tremor passes his face. A young woman called Clausier. Ring any bells? These dried flowers were behind her window.
Clausier.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
He turns his sight from the whitening field of flowers and falls silent. Then the muscles in his jaw twitch, a spasm.
Almost. But you need one more. Just one. Or maybe two.
I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the soles of your shoes, please.
Fucking imbecile.
The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out old running shoes on his feet.
The maker is called Sensorique. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the size. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
Okay, drama. We have... Oh my god, we have points. Yeah, let's just crank 2 points into drama, I'd say. Oh, actually 3 points. There we go. There we go.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
So again, this is what I would say, probably. He was a soldier too, he was a man.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
He breathes through flared nostrils.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the anger. Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth.
He begins to smile.
I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Boom, the revelation. I just fucking nailed you, super cop of Jamrock. Do you understand you're confessing to murder? To a police officer? Boom, the revelation.
Moronic, gloating psychopath.
He squints.
A motive. A real cop gets a motive now.
Yeah, shush.
You don't shush me. He could say he was taking a fall for someone, or disorientated. A confession is useless without a motive. Don't mess this up. Coax it out of him. He's still warm. They were fucking.
One more thing. Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity.
He has his specific device for it, though.
Through the scope of your rifle?
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
He nods.
Helps him see all the shit. Click.
And if it's, you know, part of all that shit you see?
Then I pull the trigger. Think of it as a form of critique.
Josef Lilianovic Droz, you're under arrest for the murder of the colonel here in Martinez.
Is what you want to say. You can barely get to "you're under" when you suddenly get weary.
No, I got everything I need to say. Josef Lilianovic Droz, you are under arrest for the murder of Lely, the mercenary.
Huh?
He leans closer with a strange expression on his face. Hello? Okay, there we are.
The words feel heavy, like they're coming from the bottom of you. You said them 1,000 times.
You will be taken to the nearest precinct holding area for preliminary investigation.
But you said I would be taken to the...
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken. Little shivers of waves appear.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officer on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be provided legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? He looks around confused. Do you understand? Do you understand, sir?
What if I don't want to? What if I want to stay here?
He looks at you, eyes submerged in terror.
Look, he's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
First, you need to come with me to the boat.
I can't. My rubber dinghy. My tire is broken. It won't inflate.
He's regressing fast.
Let's go. I don't have handcuffs, so you walk in front of me.
What a farce. What are you talking about? Handcuffs? Is this...
The old man's voice drowns in a sudden gush of wind.
Your skin crawls.
And there it is again. The Phasmid.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The old man looks at the reeds, then at you. The giant stick insect?
There's nothing there.
He looks confused.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
I've finally gone insane. Put your head in your hands.
Guess you have, twat. I don't see anything there. Does this mean I'm not under arrest?
My God, maybe you are. You're high. Breathe in. You're just high.
No, I can't be insane. You're wrong. Oh God, I'm too high. I don't know what this means. Oh God, I'm too high.
Way too high. You open your eyes and it's still there. A giant stick insect spinning slowly. Its limbs long and slender. Silent as death. Beckoning you to come to it.
Okay. Can we talk to him right now?
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
It's right there. Can you see it?
No.
He doesn't finish the sentence. One letter is all he can produce. His hands are numb and he stares at them.
Nothing. Nothing is what he tried to say. There is nothing. Only the reeds for him. The reeds and devastation.
I'll leave you be for now. Okay.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
I'm just gonna leave.
The ghost insect watches you disengage, continuing its hypnotizing motion. It's unclear whether it even registers that you're going.
Yeah, because I want this to be the worst possible ending, so we did the bare minimum arrest with no, with no sniper's nest, with no real motive. Don't really want any information on the Phasmid that could help me. Is it gonna...
The creature appears to have forgiven your nerves, for now. There it still stands, a thin ghost on stilt-like legs. Antennae hang from its head, like curled strands of human hair.
This is the Insulinian Phasmid?
No one hears you whisper. Behind you, the straggler sits despondently by the fire, oblivious to his surroundings. He not as much as glances at the gigantic insect to his right, nor does it look at him. Its antennae take their measure of the air, slowly, searching for something. You.
Retreat again?
The ghost insect watches you disengage, continuing its hypnotizing motion. It's unclear whether it even registers that you're going.
Is it not gonna leave? This time around? Strange. Do I have to approach?
The creature appears to have forgiven your nerves, for now. There it still stands, a thin ghost on stilt-like legs. Antennae hang from its head, like curled strands of human hair.
Okay, I'm gonna approach briefly.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
You know what? No one's gonna believe me anyways. Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid.
Raise the other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you. Shifting around in the reeds around it, in the muddy water, you notice some of its hind legs apparently standing on the water from time to time. It's that light.
Okay, I'm gonna disengage now.
Something stirs in the insect as you begin to back off. It seems to also take a step back. Something tells you the next time you engage and disengage, it will probably flee. The arthropod follows you with its antennae. As you back off, the cracks and hisses of the tape that's come to its end grow more distant.
Okay, I'll do that once more.
Hissing and clicking, the arthropod extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you again. You're right below it, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. Its small eyes look at nothing in particular.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the Phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Goodbye. I want as little evidence of it as possible, is the thing, so I don't want to know more about it. I want this to be like the worst ending where nobody believes him and he's just seen as just the worst. Because we've played him as just the worst,
And
for the most part.
just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Forget about it, it walked on water.
Yes, it's light enough to do that. Keep your eyes on the prize. It looks like material for some kind of nest there. You should search it.
Let's talk to you. Can we take you in now?
What is it? What do you want?
Okay, we're gonna have to look at that first, I suppose. Grab that.
Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown.
At least my collector's impulse has been satisfied.
Indeed, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected. Few cops are this futuristic.
At least now I am truly invincible. Except for the crotch area where we got hit in the first place. Let's take a look at that as well. Take the passport. I guess now we can take him in, right?
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent. Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking, like an addict of some terrible substance.
Snap your fingers under his nose.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh. That's all. You've fried him.
What happened to you, Mr. Dross?
He seems oblivious to the question. The waves slowly lap against the sea fort to the south.
I found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Hang tight.
The old man holds himself for warmth. His gaze is vacantly directed toward the mainland.
Okay. Let's leave then and see the consequences of our action. Just drink something from our, I think, did we have wine? Commodore Red tools? Right, no, it was the potent pilsner actually. Okay, that's fine too. Though, he's generally from what we've... Oh, that's the wrong area. Though he is generally, from what we've gathered, more of a wine drinker, specifically Commodore Red. Wait. I can't get lost here. I've played this game plenty. Wait, was that... Am I just that smart? Oh yeah, there it is. I must have hovered around it and then thought I was lost. No, this was the entrance. Smart of me. Okay, there we go. Let's go here. And then off to the boat we go. And then let's see how badly they tear me a new one. Alright, we've had those thoughts before. And let's go then. Back
The
to the
skiff is
coast.
swaying on the waves by the dock.
Return to the mainland.
You climb into the boat and start the engine.
Yep,
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Okay. Let's see.